Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome in. MNC, glad you're here. Don't worry about it. Lurk away, my friend. When does it start? Starts at 11:30, which is now. Hello. It's so funny. My chat says 9:31 p.m., but it's 11:32 p.m. So the chat time is somewhere in the Atlantic Ocean. Skipper, welcome in. Empire of Dirt. Coro Mexicali. Zen Ginger. Zen, thank you for throwing some shade in the chat. We need all those thumbs up, y'all. What are we going to do? Stay small, stay humble, keep it real. But good to see everyone. Hello, Miss Gina. Sleepy Stabs. Oh, those are the best ones. Get yourself a little food, Gina. Get yourself a rest. I know that you've got another hour or so to be awake with the new schedule at home. So, congrats to things becoming more normal at home. A little bit more of a normal, more manageable grind. Night Owl, welcome in. Hello, hello. Well, guys, we're looking at my 10-gallon tank that has swordtails in it. I have one more on my list for now as far as shipments going out. I mailed 2 boxes on Tuesday morning. M&C has some females. I managed to get you 5 female swordtails, sir. They are the medium-sized ones in the tank as far as size goes, and I believe they are sexed out at that point. So if I gave you some boys, I'm sorry, but I got you 5 of them, and there's a heat pack in there. They're all individually packed, so life should be good there. And first time using a heat pack. Everything's in a single layer inside the box, and the heat pack is taped to the top of the box. So on the inside, so we'll see. I did the same with some plants, but because of all the plants that I was sending Fishy Biz, the heat pack is on the side. But I mean, as long as these plants don't freeze, I think we're going to be all right. Everything looks like it's going to get there on Friday. Don't we all, buddy? Yeah, MSC is no problem at all, man. Like I said, this is like my first shipping. I think I'm still like under 10 as far as like as far as like shipping fish in general. This is my first one like dealing with the cold and putting a heat pack in. And we'll see how it goes. You know what I mean? And M&C, you know what I mean? It's the standard. You pay shipping this time, I'll pay shipping next time. After that, we'll just keep splitting it until one of us gives up. You know what I mean? But My swordtails will continue making more swordtails. I don't know whether you can see. Yeah, there's some little babies about, some little guys in there as well. So everything's continuing to do what it does. You can see into the next tank behind, and those are endlers and one adult female that decided that she wanted to live over there so bad that she hides from me when I just see her out of the corner of my eye every once in a while, but she hides on the other side of the tank. She doesn't want to be moved. She's happy there. Hello, Fish Fam Link. Welcome in. Yeah, Zen. I mean, I'm scared too. It's like the part of the hobby that I dislike the most, but it's the only way that I'm going to receive fish from across the country from my friends, and it's the only way my friends are going to receive my fish. So it's kind of necessary. So I'm dealing with it. I have feelings, you know. Good day, Mark. Welcome in. Just talking about shipping fish. How that's kind of nerve wracking. How it ends up taking me longer than I think it's going to take. Because I meant to send them on Monday, and Mr. Templeton was going to receive some as well. He sent me an email in time, but I missed the email confirming. So I only sent out 2 packages. I should have sent out 3. So our 300 subscriber giveaway person has still not received his gift, but he has prepared a tank, and yeah, they're gonna go next Monday, and I want to hear back from MNC and see what happened. You know what I mean? Like, if everything's good, I'll try to do it the same. Fingers crossed. You know what I mean? But if he has any advice or anything like that, I'll surely take it. If I remember correctly, MNC has been in the game for a minute, a few more minutes than me for sure. But yeah, the different types of swordtails that are showing up here are, there's these blonde ones with the black tail. You can see that male. He's got a little black sword on him. He's down in the bottom corner right now. And then red with a black tail. And then there's red with just a little bit of black on the top and bottom of where the tail meets the body, the colors on the body, which is interesting. And then blonde with no dark tail. So I tried to get you, MSC, I tried to get you, I got you 2 of the plain reds, 1 of the reds with a black tail, a blonde with a red tail, and a blonde with a black tail. Trying to through visual, just by looking at the fish, to give you the most spread of genetics there for whatever it is you're doing. Yeah, it's about doing it eventually. You know what I mean? It's just like, I don't know. I want to be better about it, but history and current experience tells me that I'm not that fast. The pink looking swordtail, that's one of those blonde ones I was telling you about, and she's got a red fin on the top, and there's some striations there and some color in the in she's got some stripes on her, and that's what's making her look pink in the camera. And I think the inside of this glass needs a scrub is what the problem is, because I don't remember the last time I scrubbed it, and I did wipe down the outside, and I turned off like everything that's behind the camera right now and everything that was in front of the camera that isn't this tank, so that I could get all of the glare off of the glass. But yeah, I got a lot of males that are leer tails. So they're just pretty to look at. I think they're not going to breed. Their equipment is also elongated. So I'm thinking about taking them and putting them all in one tank, and it's the sword fight tank. And like let all my leer tail sword tails males just like be beautiful and bold. I'm scared about that one that was by himself, because when I got him from my neighbor, he told me that that one's mean. So he's fairly aggressive. But yeah, I'll drop some food in here in a second, and that way we can see everybody in the tank. Yeah, thank you, MNC. I appreciate it, man. Like in the experience of learning. Just just a very nice planted tank, and then swords everywhere. That might be what the mystery snail tank becomes. My wife was very upset when the mystery snails all were overtaken by ram's horn snails. And the tank. But I will have mystery snails again, because that was fun, and I did have them for a very long time. So for my level of knowledge, I would say that I would give myself a C minus on the experience. For my experience level, as far as like what I've kept and what I've done, I would give myself an A, because I did keep them alive for a very long time, had many generations. And it was a good experience. So I'm streaming to you on my laptop, my new laptop, and I like it. Seems to be doing all right. My picture doesn't look that great, but I'm afraid that that might not be this monitor. It might just be what it is. I'll have to check it out on the replay. Yeah, it was a steel. It's using a bunch of cores instead of a graphics card, so we'll see how that plays out. Thus far, the stream seems pretty manageable. I'm just using the mic on the laptop right now, and I've got the laptop camera. I'm going to go inside and sit down. I'm going to get a cup of coffee. Try not to knock over the camera when I go to sit down. But it's blue and it has a little clown fish for the logo on it. So that's kind of cute. And that was a surprise. We didn't realize that was like their logo or whatever. But my wife got in there on the deals, and our laptop, well, it wasn't really a laptop. What was it? It was a Chromebook. So that doesn't really count. So hold on real quick. I got things in my hand. All right. We're doing it. Do not need this jacket on. Hello. This is what I look like in front of a laptop, everybody. There's my camera over there. Everything's reversed. So there's a glare like on my mouth. I wonder which one it is. It's probably that one. Laptop mic. Well, this is new. Here we are. All of us doing our things. So I need to figure out how to flip the camera around so that the camera settings are such. But I can present now, so that's pretty cool. I'm excited about that. Yeah, I think we only spent like $400 on this laptop, so it's pretty good. The monitor itself is not that great. I mean, I would assume the camera works well enough for what we see on YouTube and what I'm getting through the free StreamYard, you know. So I feel like this model, like they went. Think my monitor here is like only 1080p, but that's what YouTube is. So, cheers. You know. So I think that this is going to work in the interim, and if I find that it's not strong enough for what I'm trying to do, and all of that, streaming wise, I will get another laptop. But I think this is going to work. Okay, so Jeff, you're working on attempting to update your wife's old laptop so you can find out if it's usable for you or not. Yeah, man. I mean, you might find that it's fine. What Sharpie's always talking about, how he's using every time I touch his table, whoa, earthquake. But Sharpie's always talking about how he's not going to get another laptop. You know what I mean? It's like he's going to make it work. So I think that's pretty cool. Or maybe he was talking about getting one in the new year. I have trouble because I save Sharpie's stream for replay for when I'm laying down and resting my eyes, and then Sharpie's just in my ear telling me stuff. You know what I mean? It's like a download. So you know what I mean? Like, so I can be a little bit more like Sharpie. He's definitely my top 5. You know what I mean, for streams that I regularly catch. Um, yes, I could. Like, this thing has like all sorts of holes on the sides of it. Being a laptop uh, that is a Windows machine. You know what I mean? So I do have all the hookups. You know what I mean? I could definitely do something like that. I've got a small television over here stuck in the corner that I may mount one day. Might be fun to have that in front of me. Yo. There is an HDMI port, buddy. Nice. But yeah, I like it. I think it's fun. Um, all the holes, yes. So yeah, no, I'm excited about it. It's a new piece of equipment. Here I'm doing it. I usually angle this way so that then there's more things going on. But let's work on Well, that puts me in, but if I wanted to press Shift +4, is that at the same time? Weird. Mark Stolzen speaking truth right here. Look at this guy. It's handy to have backup holes for when the main hole is out of action. Oh yeah. Very nice, sir. Very nice. Let's see. Yeah, I don't know how to use any of this stuff. Like, it's different than mobile. And I didn't really know how to use that one. So, there's both of us. There we go. I love it. So yeah, man, we have some Saswasser tang here. mixed with some Java moss. Let's give these kids something to eat. See if we can't get some swirling action. Oh, all of the food is all the way over here. All right, let's put some food in here. So all those little yellow babies just above Mark's name. Hello. Good to see you, my friend. Welcome in. We're looking at some swordtails, and I'm figuring out how to do StreamYard on a new laptop. Thus far, everything looks pretty good. Pretty happy with everything. The picture could be better, but I've been using the same, but I'm looking at it on this new laptop, and I think that possibly it might be better than this, but I don't know. Now that we've got these guys like swimming like midstream, like working on eating and stuff like that, when they stop, it focuses up pretty nice. But you know, I mean, I'm here. I can tell you what they are. These are swordtails. Oh, you got sick kids. That's no fun. Sorry to hear that. But it is the season. So these guys are getting down on Ken's Ultra Hatchery Flake. They're eating it. It's good. So yeah, some of those blondes look pink, and it's just due to the fact that they have some light orange striping on them. It's pretty cool. And there we are. 10-gallon tank, sponge filter, Java moss overgrowing some wood, real small pieces of wood. I believe there was Java fern on there to begin with. The leaves got all full of holes and didn't look good. It slowly died out. Well, Land O'Lakes, it's like laundry and liquids, right? Pretty much. Solar Flare Twin Bar Swordtails. No, sir, I have not seen those. You saw those today, huh? That sounds pretty awesome. But yeah, I'm just happy to be here, man. It's been a crazy couple of weeks. I know that I said I was going to be off for a week, and then I was off for 2 weeks. The week that I said that, I was unaware that it was still another full week before Thanksgiving holiday. So obviously, I needed to take a little bit of a break. I was starting to lose track of basic calendar knowledge. So didn't end up having to work extra shifts that next week. Turns out, oh, there's some swooping action going on. Turns out the guy who needed all of the days off never went on vacation. So he needed his shifts back. I was more than happy to give them to him because I didn't want to work extra shifts to begin with. But all good. So yeah, I went and hung out with the family Monday through Wednesday. Got back home and fell asleep before midnight. So I may or may not have been able to start the stream. I may or may not have been awake at the time that the stream would have gone down, but I was too tired. I fell asleep and slept all that night and then woke up at like 6 in the morning. So I got a 6-hour nap and then I got up and ate something and talked to my wife for like less than an hour. And then I went back to bed again to go to work. And work was good, man. Thankful to be with the assignment that I have. Thankful to be working, you know what I mean? Having a job that pays bills and things like that. Happy to be living within my means, you know what I mean? Like chilling. Um, it was definitely a good time, man. But yeah, like most fish keepers, and I maybe not just fish keepers, maybe just like a lot of people in general, feel like my family does not understand me. And I'm okay with that. I love being an enigma. That's great and everything like that. But I don't know. I feel like sometimes they just don't know what to do, to what to do with this. You know what I mean? Like, well, I love you and stuff. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I just family time is weird sometimes. You know what I mean? But like nobody was openly fighting, and nobody was like particularly rude. I was a little bit rude from years past, but you know what I mean? Like boundary setting, right? But yeah, no, there were. I don't believe any. No fighting was happening in the open. There may have been disagreements between family members behind closed doors. You know what I mean? But hey, man, it's like I'm not going to go looking for information. I don't need it. Okay, Skipper says that he understands the not understanding. His mom says, "Why fish?" and she has a lot of horses. You know what I mean? It's just like, yeah, exactly, man. You know what I mean? Like, definitely different strokes for different folks. Yeah, the hay burners. That's a good name for horses. That's right. They burn through it. I remember my grandfather had two ponies and two horses, and I think he just bought like once a year, but I think he bought like 100 bales, and he might not have bought any more hay for the rest of the year. You know what I mean? But 100 bales for four horses. That's like 25 bales per horse. Now, granted, these no, granted the I was young at the time, so I was riding the ponies, and one of them's name was Frisky, and the other one's name was Lightning, and they were built like a calf, just nice and round, just like big bellies. These were definitely well fed, well fed horses for sure. The ponies were fat, but I think that might just be like how ponies are built. You know what I mean? Like they're short and they're fat. You know what I mean? Like I remember the horses, the full size horses. One of them was much older, and then there was a boy one. I can't remember his name, but that was my cousin's horse, and that horse definitely like had like muscle tone and like looked like real muscular, and so I think that might have just been like the pony is like just like build short and stocky, you know what I mean? Okay, Skipper, so he did end up getting more hay later. Okay. I just remember when he would get him in, it'd be in a big like 4 or 5 bales high and like 10 rows long, and like we used to stack them different ways and make tunnels and stuff like that in there as kids, and like play in there, have fun. Make a hay fort, be itchy for days. Yeah, I am enjoying this quite a bit. So yeah, dude, fun things. Like to add some clips to the show and stuff like that. Let's see, I do have something to show you. I got a little Charlotte's Web thing happening on my front porch. Maybe I'll take the camera off the fishes and turn the mic on that. Let's see. Make this So let's try that. And I'm going to leave this here. Hopefully there's not a ton of feedback. So let's go with Cam. Turn that on you. We'll just feedback. That automatically zoom in. Or no, that looks about the same to me. And I have to back up to about there. Okay. Good to know. All right, so I got this beautiful girl right here. She's been doing her thing. And up in this corner over here. She hung her little pouch of eggs. So we all know how this movie ends. Where is she? There she is. So yeah, that's what I got going on. So Skipper, I think this type of spider is called a harvest spider, something like that, or a garden spider. But they make that zigzag pattern in their web, and that's what makes them most identifiable. But man, I love those guys. But that spider was set up in my doorway, putting its web in between the street and the light on the next to the door, and made it so that the spider web wasn't hanging down where people walk through. So I was like, cool, man, like you could stay. That's actually a really good design, and you know, it doesn't impede me getting in and out of the house. You know what I mean? So love that thing. Been there for like 2 or 3 months now. Yeah, it does look creepy, but also like very beautiful, and like it never like, well, it rarely gets spooked. Sometimes it moves up into the corner when there's a bunch of commotion at the front door, like when I'm like bringing in groceries or something like that, and it'll move out of the way. But it never moves really fast, has never jumped. You know what I mean? Like these are all things that would make me reconsider our situation. You know what I mean? Because like I'm not into spiders really at all, but they do catch bugs. There was one night that what, there were like 14 or 15 moths that got caught in the lamp in the spider web, and I was like, wow, that's pretty cool. So she's definitely doing her job for bug control, and I do like that. So yeah, Mr. Templeton, you got a horse named Katie? You got to say it like that, right? Katie. That's how we say it down here. We got a town called Katy, Texas. My brother from another mother, Big Tank Hank, is out in Katy, Texas. Okay, Skipper, you want a Clydesdale? Mm-hmm. All the horses I've owned are in like on video games: Red Dead Redemption, Zelda. Yeah, oh, yeah, June. A big sack, a big sack of baby spiders are coming soon. I'm like, that was the thing. Is like I saw it and I was excited about it, and I showed it to my wife, but then I was like immediately sad because I remember from Charlotte's Web, she she makes a sack for her babies and then she slows down and she dies. You know what I mean? Like that's the life cycle. You know what I mean? I was like, oh man, my spider's gonna go away soon. I got on it the other day, Skipper, and I was having a blast, man. Like I don't even think I did anything. I was just riding around just a short distance from camp, ran into some Lemoyne Raiders, which happens when you're in Lemoyne. And I remembered how to use all my guns, and that was pretty good. And then I think I tried to complete some sort of a mission. I didn't do very well at all. Hello, Craig. So yeah, let's get this. Let's get this camera mounted on something else. I want to talk about my other tank that has swordtails in it, that has my adults in it. It's the 20-gallon long that's on top of the 410s. That's just out of frame when you guys are looking at me sitting in the fish room. I'm on my way right now to switch it up. Need more coffee too. Oh my goodness, so many things. So let's get that set up. Let me turn on the light over the tank. And before I get started, all right, my voice is going to be muffled, but I'm going to, because I'm going to mute the mic on this. So this is the tank, and it's got swordtails and some. There they are. They're coming out. But yeah, they need to be fed. But my wife was telling me, like, let's just not do water changes on this tank and just keep topping it off. And I was like, I've never done that, but I could see why you would think that this is the perfect tank for it, because I have all of this vine coming off of it, and it's everywhere. And you can see the roots inside of the tank. Like that brown bit, everything that's white is roots. So lots and lots of roots. And then if you look at the back, it's just crazy. And it's very, very happy. And some of these leaves are like the largest leaves that I've ever had from this plant. Like this leaf is very large. Like if you look at my hand, this leaf is very large. And normally they're more like this shape, maybe a little bit larger, but like some of these guys are like huge. So I was thinking about doing it because that's what my wife suggested, and well, we all know it's wise to listen to our wives, right? I mean, come on, don't be a dummy on purpose. Back it up a little bit. Maybe that'll work. There you go. And then let's see about getting these guys to eat. See if anybody will come out and play. They're real skittish. They don't like to see me. But they've always been like that. So we'll ignore those guys for a minute and see if we can get them to come out. Hang on real quick. I'm going to get a cup of coffee. So I removed quite a bit of plants out of here, and you can't really tell, but I moved quite a bit of plants out of here. So yeah, there's one of the blonde ones in the center, and he has a red stripe on him. He is so freaking cool, and he's got a black tail. I love that guy. Yeah, man. Like, I mean, all I know about breaking horses is from the movies and stuff like that, and it takes a couple montages and somebody gets injured. Most of the time in most of the movies that I've watched. Wow, Josh, that's a special horse right there. You know what I mean? Like, and honestly, you know what I mean? Like, it's okay if a horse is never ridden, right? I mean, like, there's something majestic in that. You know what I mean? They just have such an amazing presence and stuff like that. Like, they're super cool, man. Like, horses are definitely a spirit animal. You know what I mean? Like, keep getting distracted by the fish eating. Jeff, you have a great night, day. Enjoy your rest, sir. That's awesome, Joshua. I'm glad. I'm glad that riding a horse into compliance is no longer done. It doesn't seem like the gentlest way, you know. Yeah, I like that. I like that the industry has changed like that. Like when I went sport fishing with my uncle and stuff like that, it's just like, yeah, man, there's no law preventing it, but like there's like an etiquette to like sport fishing and stuff like that, and there's things that you just don't do, you know, like uh what we were out there fishing and we like hooked up with a couple of hammerheads, and they were like five six 5 6 foot, and got one real close to the boat, you know what I mean, got to look at it. It ended up breaking off, but I was like, so if we caught something like that, like, would we take it in? And he goes, yeah, man. I mean, like, we could. There's nothing wrong with it. He was like, but like everybody else, when we got back to the dock, would be like, why are you bringing in a 6 foot shark? Because it's just kind of frowned upon. You know what I mean? And like, they're big into conserving the fish. You know what I mean? And working to like preserve like the ecosystem and stuff like that so that we don't like harm populations of fish and things like that. And I just think that that's really cool that the thoughts on it have changed, because I just feel like it wasn't that way when I was a kid, like 40 years ago. You know what I mean? Like, things are things are moving in a more like self-conscious, like more nature loving way, and I think that that's pretty cool. I didn't realize, I don't know anything about horses, so I mean, I'm not surprised that I didn't realize that the the whole gentling of horses and stuff like that, it has changed so much. I think that's really cool. Like, I like watching all like the weird like woo woo videos where like the horses are like laying their heads on people, you know what I mean, and like stuff like that, some sort of a spiritual healing type thing that's taking place and stuff like that. And like, they're definitely doing something. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know whether it's true or not, but like, that's something I would like to believe in for sure. I think that's really cool. You could see a couple of my canine Corey hanging out. You can see one of they've got eye stripes. They've got stripes over their eyes, like like several of the platies do, and then they just got like little bitty like dots like all over their body. I like them a lot. Okay, Skipper. So you've seen it in person, and you're a believer. Like I straight up trust your judgment on that. You know what I mean? Like I want to believe. I haven't seen it in person, but like it definitely looks like something. So this camera looks better to me than the other one. The only way to tell for sure would be to put it back on the other tank and see. But the lighting might just be better in this tank because it's dark underneath and stuff like that. But I did switch it from uh, back camera to back photo. Wait, what was it? It was telephoto camera or something like that. Red swordtails, man. Like and they're swordtail leertails. These are the original group, I believe. Some of these guys might be new and growing up, but yeah, these guys are the ones that I moved out of the tank, and then I had that tank and it was full, and then I sent 25 out twice. Curtis has some, Skull Aquatics, and I can't remember who got the other ones. But yeah, very cool. So yeah, I moved them over to this tank because there were no fish in it other than the Corys, and it was a 20 instead of a it's a 20 long instead of a 10 gallon. So I gave them more space to swim around. And I lost a male recently, but he lost the sword on his tail, so he was getting picked on. To begin with, and then he died like about a month later. So I don't know whether it was from injury or a broken heart after you lose your sword. You know what I mean? Like I don't know. But I remember seeing that he had a broken sword. And I've lost one large female out of this tank as well, and that was uh, that was also like a one-off. Like nothing weird with the tank before, like a month before or a month after either. So just kind of a one-off deal. And I don't know how long the first owner had them, so I'm not for sure when they age out. Yeah, Skull Aquatics has a bunch of those guys. So yeah, Skull. Do you? I mean, like I think they're just like red swordtails. You know what I mean? Like, and they've got that leertail gene in there. You know what I mean? Like, they're pretty nice though. And I swear, like the my neighbor kid who I got him from, he I think he bought them at a local LFS here. I want to say it was Aquadome, which is the one that's closest to my house. That's not like a big box store, mom and pop. So I love them to death. This is my first time keeping them. I don't know whether they're special or not. You know what I mean? But I mean, like, there's lots of swordtails out there, and they've been prevalent in the aquarium hobby for a long time. So I would assume that, you know what I mean, if you've got a good strain and they're not dying and they're strong and hardy, there's nothing wrong with them. That they all have the ability to be as cool as the ones that I have. But I don't know enough to say whether they're special or not. But they're for me. They're for me now. You know what I mean? And like, I've been enjoying them for sure. Kohaku swordtail. I've seen these and try and breed. Oh, you have these and try and breed. All right. Yeah. So Skull says that they're sweet. So yeah, man. You never know. I mean, like, it could be, like somebody has like a nice strain of them and then has a bunch of babies and stuff like that and supplies the local fish store with them. You know what I mean? Like, that very well could happen. Austin is a big enough city to where, like, yeah, there would be a hobbyist and they would give the pet store some nice swordtails. You know what I mean? For nothing. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with them. So I sent a bunch of plants to Fishy Biz. He should be getting them. I didn't label any of them. So I assume that I'll just call him at some point and tell him what's what. But they're all pretty basic plants. So if he's not sure about one of them, it shouldn't be hard for him to look it up either. It's all stuff that you see in all of my tanks. Was just there you go. There's one of the large females. That's like full size. It's what I have in my Endler tank. You know what I mean? And she tries to hide. It's a 10-gallon. She's trying to hide. You know what I mean? I'm all like, okay, I don't see you. But she's really happy over there. And those are full size Corridoras. Just so that you guys can get some scale. And we're looking at a 20-gallon long. So everybody can get an idea of what's going on in the tank. But yeah, but you can see on her right there that she's light in color, but she's got a dark stripe like down her side. I freaking love it. Okay, so Elaine, you bought blood red swordtails, and then you needed to get, and then you got orange fry afterwards. And Josh was saying you got to breed the fry back to the red for the first few generations to get them to stick. So I guess that dark red, you've got to have some genetic expressions that stack in order to get them that red. So they would have that trait of the dark red, but not be expressing it. Then you breed them back to the full, and then you start getting babies that are the dark red. I'm talking it through in my head. I'm not stating any factual information here. I'm just guessing, and I'm thinking about it, and I love thinking about fish stuff. So I'm actually pretty happy right now. Good day, Mike Myers. Mr. Maniac. Love it. The bright stripe was part of the pineapple gene. All right. Okay. Yeah, Skipper, they've got like little dots all over them, and then they've got the stripes like over their eyes, like the little mask. And they were called canei, Kaneii. Yep. Hey, I like it. I like it, Mr. Myers. I think it's great. And it's true. However, if you don't change your name and then you're just M. Myers 1987 and you get a bunch of like horror fans that are coming to your channel and then learning about fish, you know what I mean? Like, that's a calling in and of itself, you know what I mean? Because I feel like if you really, really like horror movies, why wouldn't you also like a fish tank? You know what I mean? Like, but I'm biased. I think everybody should have a fish tank. Um, I think it's important. So these guys have a lot more red on them in real life. They're washing out in the camera underneath the light, and I think it has to do with how much vegetation is on the top. And there's a layer of duckweed across the top as well. So I think it has to do with the lighting. The reason why they're so yellow and not very much orange. But yeah, what you're not picking up, Skipper, is they're covered in little tiny dots, like the smallest dot you can make with a ballpoint pen. Those type of dots, like all over it. Right, exactly, Skipper. It never does, and it's one of the drawbacks. But sharing online in the middle of the night with my friends is what I like to do. You know what I mean? Like, this is my social time right here. Whether my family understands that or not, it doesn't matter to me. You know what I mean? Like, they just got to trust me when I say that I'm all right. Because they're like, you're working at night, you're working every weekend. Like, what are you doing? It's just like, I don't know, man. I'm living my life, man. I'm in my isolation phase, and I love it. I don't go anywhere. I don't do nothing. I don't bother anybody. And there's a fair amount of my working every weekend that is actually social. We're watching movies, we're talking about music, we're doing all the things, man, living our life. You know what I mean? So I feel pretty good about everything. It's just not what most people do. So I think therein lies the confusion. You know what I mean? Like I'm forgetting to break my back working 60 hours a week and like trying to freaking like chase money. You know what I mean? Like just like I found a way around it. So I'm not gonna. Our female's feeling very particular about who needs to be aware. She is checking people left and right. So is it really 12:48 right now? Skipper, go to bed, man. Good night, brother. Yeah, we're basically done here in another 12 minutes or so. There's a baby in this tank that I haven't set up yet. Put some plants in it the other day, and I'm trying to figure out how he got in there and where he came from, honestly. Because I pulled it out of that tank with the. I'm not sure. I need to be more careful. That's for sure. Yeah, she does. The babies don't seem to be making it, to my knowledge, and numbers. Not like they do in this 10 gallon with the juveniles in it. And I'm not sure what the deal is. But like I said, I'm gonna do an experiment and just top off this tank and let all the plants pull, all the pothos pull all of the, and plants in there, pull all the waste out of the water and see how that goes. I don't think it's a bad thing. Nope. Oh my God, I did it! So that mouse pad can be used as a button, and then you drag. That's what I was doing on my phone with my finger, but you know what I mean? Like, that doesn't translate to me readily. Anyway, how much fun is that? All right, well, I think I've got almost everything that I was doing on the regular before. But yes, I love you guys, and I thank you for coming out tonight. I have been away for a couple weeks, but I'm glad to be back, and I want to be on the regular, which is why I chose Wednesday nights, because I need to be back staying up and changing my water because I got a 3-day work week coming up. So that's my plan, to continue to do this, continue to have fun. I'd like to put some segments in here. I'm going to steal that from Jeff Pelham. We'll start some segments, just little activities that we do. I think I'm going to call the show Aquatics Anonymous from now on. And yeah, that's about it. That's what I'm doing now. Mr. Myers, it is my pleasure, sir. It does get lonely in the night here in America in my garage. So I do like to welcome guests once a week so that we can talk about what's up. I think my theme was Tenderness and Rage. I heard it in an emo song on Instagram earlier this week, and I was like, Tenderness and Rage. I freaking love it, dude. You know, I mean, two opposing ideas. You know what I mean? Like, in the same space, like it describes a lot of my life. I got a lot of feelings. I'll make room for them all. You know what I mean? Like, it's a large table. All of my opinions sit around and argue with each other, and I just sit in the background and watch. It's pretty hilarious. Yeah, man, it definitely brings up thoughts and stuff like that. But yeah, that was how I was feeling after Thanksgiving. After Thanksgiving week, hanging out with family, and then all of this constant online Black Friday shopping bonanza, fear of missing out type vibe, you know what I mean? And then the world in general, you know what I mean? Like, all the headlines, like, chaos, baby. But and then, like, all the sports teams and all the sports ball going on as well, you know what I mean? It's just like, it's crazy. There's a lot of stuff going on all the time. I just want, you know, 10, 14 people come in here, hang out with me for an hour and a half. Let's just, you know, forget all about that for a second. You know what I mean? Talk about horses. I think in my description, I said, we have conversations sometimes about fish. And that's what it's about. Ah, okay, Elaine. It's not whispering to horses. It's using body language to convince horses to trust you. Right, exactly. And I mean, like, yeah, dude, like, I feel like horses are real good at like feeling out vibe and stuff like that. That's why they like randomly kick somebody. You know what I mean? And stuff like that. It's just like, well, Mr. Myers, I got all that Val in there already, and I just got to wait for it to move towards the front again. And then I put it in a box, and then I send it to Fishy Biz. And yeah, I was reading about the Val, and I may have already said this on one of the streams earlier, but did you guys know that the Vallisneria as a plant has male plants and female plants? And they can sexually reproduce as well as put off runners and stuff like that. Like, I don't know whether I have all male or all female, but like, I've never seen anything that it's like a small piece, like near the crown, like that would be in the center of the valve scenario where the sprig of grass like comes up. There would be like a small like nub in there or something like that that I think is like the equivalent of a stamen or something like that that makes one male. I'm not sure, but the fact that there were male and female plants of that like really opened my mind to the fact that I do not know anything about plants. You know what I mean? It's just like another layer, and you're just like, wait, what? So always fun. Yeah, Mr. Myers, it's yeah, dude, it's a crazy world. Yeah, I won that aquatic plants book at the class this year. I'm very happy about it. I like looking up plants and stuff in it. It's fun. I can't remember the lady's name who wrote it, but she apparently is the one who discovered Saswaterte. And I didn't find it in her book, but it might be being called something else. I'm not sure. I like how the I like how the female is pushing all the other sword tails away and completely ignoring the the corridors. Like she's like, not my species, not my problem, man. Like I got to keep all these guys in line. Yeah, she is, and I got another one that big over in this other tank. Let me turn on the light. See if I can trick her into going to the other side of the tank. Let me see what I can do. So she ran to the other side. So she's going to be in this tank here. When I go back here and I go, oh my goodness, I see you. I see you. I can see you. See what I mean? Like she's like she doesn't want to be found. She's such a trip. Yeah, so I'm thinking about putting those females in the tank with the juveniles and stuff like that because I think that well, in this situation, there's no one to breed with her, which might be why she went over there in the first place. And there's always baby fry to eat over here. You know what I mean? So food was plentiful, so she's fine. You know what I mean? I might put her back in there, and then that other large female from the 20-gallon we were looking at, I would like to put her back over here. I mean, she looks pregnant right now, but maybe I'll put her over and not so that she can get pregnant, so that she can birth in a place that's safe. Because obviously somebody is eating babies in that tank. But yeah, might put them back for a little bit. But I've got plenty of babies in that tank right now. Like life is good. I want to keep having situations like that where I have I don't want it to be to where I'm like freaking out and like shipping out groups of 25 at a time, although they both went, you know what I mean? Like not for a lot of money, but like honestly, like that might not be the point. You know what I mean? Like the point is the winning bid gets it. You know what I mean? And like if it's a lower price than they would get retail somewhere else, well, that's great. I don't have to worry about retail, and it's for somebody that I love. You know what I mean? So hopefully the situation doesn't get like that. But I would like to have several things like that, so that going on in my fish room and stuff like that, so that I can, entertain like 20 of you, like with some fish like throughout the year, maybe 40, you know what I mean? But like if there's a bunch of different fish, you know what I mean? You can get a couple of these, a couple of those, you know what I mean? Like that's kind of my want and desire, is to be able to have my fish happy, making other fish and sharing those fish and plants with the people that I interact with here on the internet that are part of the community and stuff like that. And I think that's where my hobby's going. I would also like to escape some of these tanks. I'd like to make some stuff, take some wood and rocks and things like that, and actually build some structures with them and stuff like that. So I have interesting hardscape in the tank as well. So and then I would like to try maybe some harder plants. Get more varieties of plants, because I think I've never counted, but I would say I have under 20 different types of plant in my fish room. It might be more than that, but not by many, for sure. So I would like to be doing more. I think I'm ready for the next step with plants. But ladies and gentlemen, our time is coming to an end. I hope everyone had a wonderful time this evening. I know I did. Uh, thank you and much love. Have a great night.